AITA for spraying my arm with no chew dog spray so my stepsister wouldn't lick it anymore.
So I have a step-sibling that is on the spectrum. One of the big issues she has is that she licks everything and everyone. It's some sort of sensory thing. She has a special therapist that's supposed to help with this problem. They've told my dad and stepmom to get her interested in licking other things. For example, she has these special bracelets and necklaces she wears for licking. My dad and stepmom say they've helped a lot with the issue, but every single time I have to come to visit she gets too close to me and licks me. It's gross and makes me uncomfortable. My dad and stepmom know it makes me uncomfortable and will pull her away when she does this, but she will inevitably lick me again multiple times while I'm there. On a side note, we got a new puppy at my mom's house. He has been having trouble with chewing furniture.
We got this special no-chew spray that we sprayed on the legs of the furniture. Our puppy pretty much stopped chewing the furniture immediately. So the next time I had to go to my dad's, I decided to try spraying my arms and neck with a no-chew spray before I left. Within 20 minutes of being at my dad's place, my stepsister licks me. This time though she pulls away fast, makes this face, and starts freaking out. Anyway, my dad and stepmom got mad at me about it. They said what I did was mean and demeaning. But their stuff wasn't working at all and didn't make any difference when I was there. The spray did work though, because she didn't try to lick me or get too much into my personal space again till days later. After she tried to lick me again, my dad said I better not use the spray again.
I said if they got her to stop licking me, the spray wouldn't bother her. Then he said he would take me straight back home if it happened again. I said that I just wouldn't come back over there anymore. I didn't talk to him or anyone else for the rest of the trip. Since I've gotten home, he's called me a few times and I have ignored all the calls. I've listened to a few voicemails he's left though. They're basically all saying the same thing, that this isn't how I'm supposed to treat family and I need to make exceptions and be understanding of my stepsister. Edit. Since I'm getting a lot of comments now, I'm going to just answer questions that haven't been asked already. Edit 2. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be missing a lot of your guys' comments.
Each time a new one comes in, my phone scrolls up to the top and I have to scroll all the way back down.
Anti-A. Other people's rights end at your body.
Are they upset because the spray is intended for dogs, or that you used anything at all?
Anti-A. My parents used to get that stuff you put on your fingernails to stop chewing them when I was a kid. It's a few seconds of an unpleasant taste that helps to cure a gross habit, and I wasn't emotionally scarred by it.
NTA. This is actually a pretty clever solution. They said what I did was mean and demeaning. You know what else is demeaning? Having people fucking lick you like a dog and to be expected to just tolerate it. NTA. Autistic parent with an autistic child here. Autists have different brain wiring and perceive the world differently. That's a scientific fact. This is why we function in ways neurotypical people don't understand. My perception of what you have done is that you're engaging in a very basic level of retraining. You're teaching that you taste unpleasant and therefore there is no sensory attraction to you anymore. That's completely acceptable in my book. Nobody has been harmed. Everyone's bodily autonomy has been respected. Nobody was forced to do anything against their will. And you have provided your stepsister with safe information in a manner she can process. NTA. Anyone saying you're the is crazy. Assuming you're just using that bitter apply no chew spray. NTA. 100%. Your stepsister is routinely violating you space and body. It's not her fault, per se. Depending on where on the spectrum she falls. But that also doesn't mean you have to put up with it. I'm actually kind of surprised the therapist hasn't recommended something like this. A deterrent on preferred items in combination with the jewelry might help. Also, your father is a terrible father. Have you told your other parent about this? I'd be surprised if a judge wouldn't be willing to adjust a custody agreement in light of this. He's doing absolutely nothing to protect you from your stepsister's unwanted attention. NTA, you're allowed to not be licked. It would seem your stepsister is more capable of correcting her own behavior than her parents are. Expecting of her if your no-chew spray method worked for a few days. Their behavior needs correcting too. And removing yourself from a situation that makes you uncomfortable seems to make a lot of sense. Here, keeping one family member comfortable at the expense of another isn't what families are supposed to do, either. NTA. You honestly need to sit down with your parents and tell them in no uncertain terms. Hey, I understand why you want to bend over backwards to accommodate your child who has some sort of condition. And that's fine. But no one is allowed to be mad at me for having and enforcing boundaries. If you think I need to have zero boundaries and zero willingness to enforce boundaries, and I need to resign myself to letting people do things to my body even when it makes me feel weird or uncomfortable, then you need to think long and hard about how fucked up it is to try and program that mindset into a daughter. I'm not familiar with this particular issue, and don't know how difficult it is to correct. However, under no circumstances should you tolerate this behavior. In that respect, your father is wrong. This is not a weird eccentricity that the family tolerates. It's a disgusting and potentially dangerous behavior. You have a right not to be assaulted in this way. And your relationship does not change this. NTA. I think it's a great idea. It didn't hurt your stepsister and it put a temporary hold on the offensive behavior. Even if it does leave a bad taste in her mouth. Sorry. I couldn't resist. Yay. No. Her rights end where yours begin. You have the right not to be touched, licked, etc. And if your dad and stepmom can't control their daughter, you have a right to protect yourself as long as it doesn't injure your sister. If your dad and stepmom don't see it that way, that's their issue. I think spraying your arm is a genius solution. And I don't see the harm in it. Maybe I'm missing something? If you lick something that tastes nasty, well, you won't lick it again. Natural consequences, not punishment. Importantly, your sister is capable of learning this. If she wasn't capable of learning, then it would be unkind. Another idea would be long sleeves. NTA. You shouldn't have to put up with having your personal space invaded like that. It's uncomfortable and unsanitary. I understand she's on the spectrum. But the parents should be doing something to keep you safe as well. Your father made it very clear that you were not his priority when he said he would take you home. Give up his time with you. Because you're trying to ensure your boundaries are respected. NTA. I'm autistic and have used something similar to stop chewing habits. She has been given appropriate things to chew. But this needs to also come with deterrence on things that should not be chewed. Otherwise, the habits can't change. Just make sure everything's safe to ingest. I'm sure it is. Being animal appropriate. Make sure you spend time with her in other ways so this doesn't deteriorate the relationship. You'll likely only have to do the spray thing a few times before she stops completely. NTA. The fact that someone is on the spectrum does not mean they cannot learn how to behave. If anything, they tend to benefit from clear rules. Your parents need to stop enabling her. NTA. That's fucking revolting no matter who is doing it, and you do not have to put up with it. NTA. What spray did you use specifically? I just got a puppy, so inquiring minds want to know. NTA at all. Someone being neurodivergent does not give them a pass to make others around them unreasonably uncomfortable. You are not obligated to put up with her licking you. And it sounds like you found a good solution. LMAO. NTA. This is genius. Of course you should try to be as understanding as possible. But that doesn't extend to giving up your bodily autonomy. NTA. Neurodivergency is not an excuse for poor behavior. I have obsessive-compulsive disorder and intrusive thoughts. That doesn't mean I have a right to act upon them. Say I was driving and rammed into another car due to intrusive thoughts which I acted upon. That wouldn't be okay, even though I have a diagnosed mental disorder. I repeat, neurodivergency is not a justification for poor behavior. Bodily autonomy is important. I understand how using dog spray could be demeaning. But a solution is a solution? If you taste gross, she won't lick you. However, when she licks you anyway, just don't get mad at her. It is a sensory issue after all. As long as she understands and is working on this issue, try to be compassionate. However, that understanding that she's working on it doesn't mean that you can't put a stop to it with something safe. On you. Keep using the spray. It's a harmless, safe solution and it does not make you an asshole. Edit. Incorrect terminology. You're not the a-hole. I think this was a good solution and harmless. It won't kill her or even harm her. Even with her being on the spectrum, you found it to successful and a few more times and she'll probably stop. Your body, your choice.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.